So it's actually 2 minutes to, but whilst we're gathering, I just wanted to just do a refresher on the 3 gunas. The gunas are the constituents of all matter, everything that's material and alive, even rocks and wood, and they're all concrete. It's all part of, they all have the gunas within them. They're sort of, it's the constituents of all matter. And the 3 gunas are tamas, rajas and sattva. Tamas being inertia, darkness, rajas being activity, mobility, fire, passion, and sattva being illumination, awareness, light. So the reason why I'm mentioning these is because it's a really helpful way of checking in with where we're at. So right now, as you just sit here, just as we kind of gather and start the class, just check in and see which of these 3 gunas is more predominant for you right now. Tamas, sort of heaviness, sort of maybe your eyes are still feeling heavy from sleep, or your body's still kind of going, oh, God, it's an effort to sit upright. Rajas might be already your heart's pounding, you've had a coffee and you're already starting to feel like you've got to crack on with the day. And sattva will be a much more equanimous state, where you're a little bit more at peace. You don't feel like you need to rush, but at the same time you're not like really trying to slow things down. There's a sense of everything happening in its own time. There's a sort of a peace and a contentment and an ease and a certain level of awareness. So in a way, what we're trying to do within the pranayama class is to bring us towards sattva. And in all yoga, this is what we're doing. We're cultivating sattvic states. So let us start now, as it's not 6 o'clock, is it 8 o'clock? So fold your palms at your chest, and as you close your eyes, just check in what's present. Tamasic, rajasic, sattvic. Relax your jaw, your tongue. And remember, whenever we have this kind of self-observation, we do it with a lot of love, because otherwise we're not going to look, are we? So we look kindly upon ourselves. So if you're feeling tamasic, sluggish, sort of a bit down, a bit heavy, then let's just be here and acknowledge it and feel it in the body, feel what it's like without pushing it away. So that hopefully through the practices that we know and through that we learn, we can shift these states. Relax your jaw and tongue, and let's chant together the 3 Oms, and then we will chant call and response for the invocation to Patanjali, and just clarifying or re-intending that the invocation is an affirmation of our practice that is for purification of our thought, our word, and our action. And purification can be even just having a little bit more awareness, so we're not just having verbal diarrhea internally and externally onto people. Excuse the image. So listen in and let us invoke this intention to have purity, clarity in thought, word and action. Yogena Chittasya Padena Vacham Malam Sharirasya Chavaidyakena Yopa akarotam Pravaram Muninam Patanjalim Pranjaliranatosmi Yogena Chittasya Padena Vacham Malam Sharirasya Chavaidyakena Yopa akarotam pravaram muninam Patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi Hari Om Hari Om. And bow down your head. Acknowledge the light within. Rest your hands, open your eyes and raise your head up. So as I mentioned, we're going to start lying down because I really want you to feel how with the Ujjayi inhalations and exhalations, they're very much in the abdomen for the exhalation and the breadth of the chest for the inhalation. So bring your hands to your side ribs here. So this is the breadth, so you breathe into this broad space. But then there's also the depth from front to back. So you're breathing out, but you're also deepening. When we're lying down, the deepening can't go so much towards the bolster, but hopefully you'll feel a little bit, but it will come up away from the bolster slightly. But we're mainly dealing with this breaths into the side chest and a little bit up to here, this area. So let's lie down in Sukhasana along a bolster with a blanket under your head. And then once you've got a feeling of this lying down, we're going to do it sitting up. So support your lower back, your floating ribs, and then bring the blanket to support your neck and your head, and then roll the shoulder bones out. So there's a careful placement of the shoulders so that you've got this deep chest. So it's going up, but it's also going down. It's not just getting pushed up. So you've got to keep these front ribs really broad and not push them up. Keep the front ribs broad, side chest lifting, and then relax your throat and close your eyes. So you've done careful placement of your limbs, the organs of action. You've rolled the shoulders out. You've drawn the blanket so it supports all the way up to the base of your neck. Your throat is relaxed. Then notice your body breathing in this position. Notice how the bolster has already created this soft, released abdomen and this broad, expansive chest. If the bolster's a little bit on the flat side, you might not be getting such a big lift. So see if you can make sure that the shoulders are adjusted well so that that lift happens in the chest. Feel your out breath in your abdomen. And your in-breath in your chest. So you're aware of your body, the shape of your body. But because you're lying down, you don't have to keep yourself up like you do when you're sitting. So there's an element of relaxation, but don't forget your body. Still be aware of the shape. Still feel how the shoulders are turning out. The arm bones are turning out. Backs of the hands are resting down. Still feel that you're relaxing the legs, but you're still aware of them. And as you relax the legs, the abdomen is soft, so it can receive the out-breath. So breathing in and breathing out. Normal breathing, not changing anything, but as you can see, because you're aware of it, you are slightly adjusting it just by default. So now we go into Ujjayi 4, where we're going to do a preparatory out breath and then begin a long, slow, smooth inhalation that goes from the abdomen out to the ribs. So the abdomen doesn't really puff up much. It sort of goes, the in-breath comes right straight into the breadth of the chest, into the side ribs, and the chest expands and lifts and deepens on both sides. And then you reach your capacity, outer corners of the shoulders are pressing down into the bolster. And then keeping that expanded chest, just breathe out as if from underneath the rib cage. And at the end, the chest just resumes its normal shape. So the rib cage does actually change from the outside. You should be able to see a change in the shape of the chest with your inhalation, because we're doing a long, deep inhalation. So your rib cage does need to move. So you're doing the moving of your rib cage. And that enables the inhalation to happen into that space. So create the space for yourself to breathe. Exhale, preparatory. Then begin to breathe in. So it goes almost like a triangle from the navel straight to the side rib, floating ribs, and the chest continues to expand all the way up into the armpits. The outer corners of the shoulders go down to the bolster, And then begin to exhale slowly, steadily, so there's not a gush. And then the chest resumes its normal shape. And then you do a couple of recovery cycles. So see if you can really feel how you exhale to prepare. Then as you inhale, inhalation almost goes directly in a triangular shape from the lower abdomen out to the side chest, to the floating ribs. And that expansion begins in the chest. So the abdomen doesn't really get pushed up to the ceiling at all. And if you find it difficult to do that, do slightly smaller inhalations and see if that helps. Or do slightly bigger inhalations and see if that helps. I would imagine doing a slightly smaller inhalation would help because you can just really focus on exhale to the lower abdomen. And then as you inhale, think ribs. Open them, broaden them, spread them. And then exhale. So you're just retraining so that your ribs are doing the expanding rather than the tummy pushing up to the ceiling. But if you've already started to be able to do that, then you can do a much bigger, longer inhalation that goes all the way up to the armpit chest. But the most important thing is that we're experiencing that the inhalation is coming into the chest. So just 2 minutes more. You can just do recovery cycles at any time. And then you do exhale preparatory to the lower abdomen. Then begin your long, slow, smooth inhalation. Feel the back spreading, feel the chest broadening, both left to right. Lengthen the side body as you lengthen the armpits away from the pelvis as you breathe into the armpit chest. Shoulders down towards that bolster. And then exhale, slowly releasing the air. And the ribs come back to their normal shape. Recovery cycle. And then again, exhale preparatory. Long, slow, deep inhalation, broadening the chest, breathing to both the left and the right chest. And then exhale as if from underneath the rib cage. And then recovery cycles. So just bring this cycle to a close and then just be in normal, natural breathing. So again, we can feel our body. We're aware of the shape of our body. And we can feel our body breathing. But we're just watching now, we're not actually changing, we're just watching. So there's this balance between doing and being. And then as you inhale, gently bring your awareness to the skin, which is the boundary between you and the rest of the room. Notice the heat and the radiance of your body spreading into the room. And then begin to focus your eyes and then roll over to your right side, coming off the bolster. And then sit up. So stretch out your legs before taking your blocks for seated pranayama. So 4 blocks like this. Some of you may prefer to work with the chair because you've got difficulty with your hips or your ankles. So sit on a chair. And before I showed sitting on the chair with the legs coming outside the chair like this, so that there's this really broad pelvis. That's one way, but actually as a more general practice you'll probably prefer to step through the chair with the feet on the floor and the hands on the chair so you can roll the shoulders back. So sit in Sukhasana on the floor if you're able to. Have a support for your ankles. Make sure the mat is thick. So I've only got 1 layer of mat here. So I'm actually going to put a blanket on the ground as well so that the it's much softer for the feet, and it can be really helpful because with long sitting you can get pins and needles quite easily. So putting a little bit of time into the setup and then knowing a setup that works for you is really good, because then you just can go straight into it. So across the legs, so I've got my ankles supported. I'm sitting right back and I'm moving the flesh of the buttocks out to the side. So I'm kind of spreading the flesh of the buttocks to reveal the sitting bone. So I'm trying to sit on both sitting bones evenly. And then I'm just going to do a little bit of blanket under my knees. And then this one is just because my legs are a bit chilly. Okay, so Parvatasana. So hopefully now your legs are sorted. You kind of don't even need to adjust them much. They just blend with the ground. Feel your long side body. Change the interlace. Long side body. Really lift the armpits, but draw the backs of the arms down into the shoulder sockets. So this Parvatasana is really important for pranayama because we've got lungs here. And if we're doing our shoulder stretches with our shoulders down here, we're closing the lungs. So that's why instead of doing our Parvatasana down here, we need to free up the chest. But do draw the trapezius muscle down, Akiko, and the upper arm muscles. And then bring the arms down. So one more time, both sides, this time with the head down. So change the interlace back, bring the head down, stretch up, and then do a long exhalation. And you breathe in, right up into the chest, and then begin a long exhalation. And feel yourself lifting up from inside. The diaphragm's lifting. And then bring the hands down, raising the head, change the interlace. And again, so head down, arms up, and now we do a long inhalation. So right up into these armpits. So exhale preparatory, then breathe in. Really, really broad inhalation all the way up into the armpits. But because the head is down, the head stays cool, calm, quiet. And then exhale. Feel the body lifting up with the exhalation. And then adjust the shoulders, lowering the arms to raise the head. Then turn your arms out from your shoulders. From the shoulder, upper arm, elbow, wrist, then rest the backs of the hands on the legs. So the shoulder bones are still going back. Then there's a small space by the armpit, so we're not closing in. Try to keep space in the armpits with the wrists turned out. Then relax your hands on your legs, so they're just a gentle cup and the thumbs are relaxed. Don't hold the thumbs out, let the thumbs relax. Keep lifting the side body, and with this lift of the side body, with this lift of the front shoulder, take the neck forward, the head down, and draw the trapezius muscle down. Keep the shoulder bones rolling back so the neck, spine is moving into the body. You're not just hanging your head forward. So roll the shoulders back and feel the neck vertebra, cervical vertebra, moving into the body. And then notice your normal breathing. So we're aware and we're feeling the physical body, the shape of the posture. So we're in Jalandhara Bandha now with the chin down, head down. So that when we do the long inhalation, the inhalation doesn't go into the head. If you find that Jalandhara Bandha is not possible for you, then you can do this lying down. Okay, so exhale preparatory. Then begin your long, slow, smooth inhalation all the way into the breadth of the chest. Expanding into the ribs, but feel how your back chest can expand more easily now because you're not lying down. So there's breadth and depth. Breathing right up into the armpit chest. And then exhale as if from underneath the ribs. And then the chest just settles back to a normal shape, but you're still lifting the chest. But it's not quite as expanded as when it is on the inhalation. This is Ujjayi 8, so continue 5 minutes. Exhale preparatory to the lower abdomen. Long inhalation into the breadth of the chest. And feel how as you reach the top of the inhalation, with the neck forward, the head down, there's this real looking inwards. And then exhale as if from underneath the rib cage. And at any time, if you need to just go to normal breathing, come to normal breathing. And if you find that you can't maintain the Jalandhara Bandha, the head down position, just adjust the shoulders, raise your head, and come to natural breathing. And try to keep the body steady, legs passive. And if you find with the eyes closed that it's making you drift off, then you can have the eyes open, but very gently open. So there's a real awareness to your practice. This is what we're doing. It's an awareness practice. Otherwise, continue with your Ujjayi 8. Exhale, preparatory. Then begin your long, slow, smooth inhalation into the breadth of the chest, expanding the chest. Keep the head down and then exhale as if from underneath the rib cage. Feel the abdomen involved in that out breath. And do recovery cycles at any time. And sometimes we can feel that the mind drifts off or that we start to fall asleep. So if that happens, then just come back to natural breathing, but make the exhalation slightly stronger and the inhalation slightly stronger. And it helps to anchor the attention. If there's sleepiness, then have your eyes open and continue to do natural exhalations, inhalations, but slightly stronger. Natural exhalations, inhalations, feel the body. So those who are still doing Ujjayi 5, do a couple more cycles. And then natural breathing. Look inwards. Keep the legs passive. And adjust the shoulders to raise the head to normal, but the eyes are still closed. And just feel the effect of that breathing practice. So you're just being here, feeling your body breathing. And feeling the movement of the air in the nostrils. What do you feel like? And then with your inhalations, bring your awareness to the surface of the skin. Feel your presence expanding into the room, the heat of your body. And then begin to focus your eyes. And then open up your eyes. And open them wider still. And wider still. And then release your hands and just stretch out your legs so that we can start afresh on the next side. So we're going to continue with Simhasana. I hope that was useful. Did you maybe just give me a thumbs? Did you feel the air in the rib cage when you were lying down? This is no, this is bit, and this is yes. You felt it when you were lying down. Excellent. And when you were sitting up, did you feel not sure, definitely couldn't feel it, or yes, I could feel it when I was sitting up? Excellent. Okay, good. So because it's morning, we're going to do Simhasana because it's such a great positioning of the body and the face and the tongue, that it helps to bring awakeness, sort of vitality, to the body, but also to the mind. So it's a position of the whole body. So in the Sukhasana, we press the hands flat against the knees, roll the shoulders back, expand the side chest, lift so we're creating space up away from the pelvis. So this is my normal height, but when I do Simhasana, I'm up here. Actually, you don't need to bring the shin down. But up here, this lifts, shoulders back, press the hands, look straight ahead, and then eyes closed. So with the tongue out, I continue to roll the shoulders back. Okay, so over to you. Hands down, side chest up, side chest forward, shoulders back, eyes closed. Tongue out, cheeks wide, mouth wide, but not open high. Keep the mouth quite closed, but really wide. It's not a, it's a, not a wide mouth in the up-down side. This is the way. Really reach that tongue out. Root of the tongue right out, right out, right out. Oh, it's coming. Good. And down to the chin. And then close, bring the tongue back in. And just feel the effect of that. Okay, now eyes open. So this is a great one, you know, if you want to sit and meditate or do pranayama in the morning and you just like this, really tired, really heavy, tamasic, then this simhasana with the eyes open. Now your eyeballs look straight ahead. And keep breathing, don't stop breathing. And then bring the tongue back in, close your eyes, turn the hands, and just feel the effect. And then gently open your eyes again. Okay, so we're going to continue with Ujjayi 5. Ujjayi 5 is natural inhalations, exhalations, and we're going to practice attending to our breathing. So attending to is like when you've got, let's say you've got a child and basically they're asleep, so there's not much happening, but your job is to attend to them, to watch them, to take care. So if they start to cry, that you can lift them and cuddle them, or you're checking, you're attending to them, but it's not a very active role. It's mostly a watching. So that is how we can also work with our breathing. So this is where pranayama shifts more towards dhyana, which is meditation. So we're going to just do our natural inhalations, exhalations, and our job is to keep our body in Sukhasana as it is at the very beginning of a class. Because what happens is once we start to sort of look at our breathing, the body can start to collapse like this, and then the mind sort of starts to go, and then we start to sort of vacate. We go off. But this is not a practice of going off, this is a practice of arriving. A lot of the time we live far from our bodies, far from our hearts. And this practice is about coming into presence. So if it makes it easier for you to do it with your eyes open, if you're feeling sleepy, do it with the eyes open. But the idea is that we go through a process of maintaining the physical posture, observing the body breathing in its locations, and then feeling the air moving. So we're not actually doing anything major. We're not doing warrior one. We're not doing Ardha Chandrasana, where we're having to really hold the body in quite a complicated position. It's simply Sukhasana. But there is the refinements of the posture which we need to continue to maintain, even though we're quite inwards and feeling it more from the inside. Okay? So we'll just do this for 5 minutes. And this is the sort of thing that you can practice on your own every day, just for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So hopefully you'll get a clear idea of the 3 aspects: maintaining the body, noticing the body and the physical sensations, and then feeling the air moving in the 2 locations, tummy and chest, and then the actual air sort of touching the skin in the nostrils or maybe on the upper lip. So turn your hands out and lift your side chest, lift the armpits, broaden the collarbone so there's a brightness up here. The manubrium is lifting up, breastbone is lifting, this area up here is bright, it's not sunken down. Keep it up. Keep the trapezius drawing down and then close your eyes. Then relax your tongue. Rest the tip of the tongue down in the lower palate. Relax your cheeks, the skin of your face. Let your eyes become steady. If at any point you really feel like you're very heavy and sleepy, then just keep your eyes open. So now feel your Sukhasana, your posture from the inside. So you can feel your feet to the floor. You can feel the contact. Can you kind of see them in your mind's eye? And you can feel your shins, your thighs. So you're sort of tracing your attention along these parts of the body. Then you can feel the contact of the thighs to the blocks. And then notice the contact of the sitting bones. How's your pelvis? So I just noticed I was leaning forward to the front too much. So I'm going to settle back so that the weight is more even on the buttocks. And then spread so you're feeling your whole buttock zone, sitting bones, down the legs to your feet. You can almost see it in your mind's eye. Passive organ of action. And then become aware of your abdomen, soft, your lower back, as we trace our awareness up through the body, feeling the ribs, feeling the chest against the clothing. Then feel your chest, perhaps your shoulders have already started to drop forwards, so just make a small adjustment to lift the armpit chest, to lift the front shoulder, descend the back shoulder, and then bring your attention down the arms, feeling the goose pimples perhaps, because they're a bit chilly, feeling the backs of the hands on your legs, and maybe some tingling in the palms of the hands. So we can see our arms in our mind's eye, as well as feel some of the sensations associated with the arms. And then becoming aware of the neck and the head and the face. So now we've traced our whole body. Just hold a kind of an image of your body. But it's actually right here, so the image is not away from your body. You're experiencing your body and having an image at the same time, sort of in the same place. So as a felt sense of your body as a whole. And now we've established this form, this rupa of the body, sharira. Now notice your body breathing. So this is natural breathing. And can you feel the out breath in the tummy? And then notice where the in-breath is. It might be quite low down, or it might just be slightly in the ribs. But it's very unlikely that it will be broad in the chest, as natural breathing won't be up there. But if you suddenly get afraid of something, just notice where your breathing is. It'll be right up in the throat, and the heart will be pounding. So our breathing is very reflective of our mental emotional state. So we're feeling our body, our form, and this form breathing. So we've got about 50% awareness on our form, 50% awareness on the out breath in the belly, the in breath in the chest. And then when your mind wanders off, which it will do, gently bring it back to the experience of the form and of your body breathing. Be interested. Tell your mind that you are interested in what's happening inside. So we're kind of training our mind to attend to you. And then let's bring our awareness to the movement of the air in the nostrils. So we've got a third of our awareness on the body, a third of our awareness on the locations of our breathing, and then a third of our awareness on the movement of the air in the nostrils. And as your attention stabilizes on the movement of air in your nostrils, let's increase our attention. So we've got about 80% of our attention on the movement of the air in the nostrils, and 20% maintaining this Sukhasana. So feel the air, and if you can't feel the air, just keep looking for it so you can find it. So feeling the cool air coming in and the warm air of the body coming out. Cool air coming in and the warm air coming out. Attending to your breathing. Then bring your awareness back to the third each, so feeling the locations of the body breathing and bringing your awareness to the form of the body. And now bringing 100%, well about 90% onto the form of the body, And our inhalation is gently pressing into that boundary between the skin and the rest of the room, which is helping us to stay centered in ourselves, but also to come out into the external world again. So staying connected internally with your inhalations, gently bring your awareness to the surface of your skin and feel the radiance of your body expanding into the room, this heat of the body. Again, increase your inhalation a little bit, as if you're filling yourself up with this inhalation, filling each and every cell of your body evenly, from head to toe. And in this brightened state, gently begin to focus your eyes. And then open them. And then open them some more. And then rest your hands, rest your legs. So we're going to lie down in Shavasana now. We've actually reached the time of the end of the class. And because we didn't do any long inhalations, exhalations just now, you don't need to do a long Shavasana. So if you've only got time for a minute, then just 1 minute lying down will be plenty. But if you want to do more, you've got 5 minutes, then do that. So please send your responses, your feedback, so we can co-create this together. So have a wonderful day, everyone.